There's a player that I don't really see anyone talking about. It's having actually a pretty good season, and I think can even get better. He's been one of the bright spots for the A's and possibly even an all-star this year due to how bad the Athletics have been. While he's shown little power in the majors, he has shown a good ability to get on base. When you combine that with his insane speed, it's no wonder he's leading the majors in steals. I think Ruiz has potential to be a great player if he can just figure out walking a bit more and maybe do a bit more with the glove as well. I honestly love seeing players like this, like these speedy guys who get on base a lot. They're a dying breed in baseball. But some of my favorite players over the years have followed this approach. Think of Billy Hamilton or even D. Gordon. These guys were not home run hitters, but they made up for it with their great gloves and speed. Ruiz is looking like he's taking the steps to be one of these players, but he still needs some work, especially when it comes to fielding. His Savant page shows he really doesn't hit the ball hard, which isn't a huge issue for his play style, but for someone who can't hit hard, you need to get a lot of hits or walks. Let's take a look at Luis Arraez's page. Arraez has been incredibly successful this year because he has basically no holes in his swing, and on top of that, he can draw walks and keep at-bats alive. Arraez is basically playing like a modern-day Tony Gwynn. He shows you don't have to be a huge slugger to be a top hitter, even in today's game. Meanwhile, Ruiz currently has a 96 OPS+, meaning he's pretty close to being league average. But this is also with a 328 BABIP. A 328 isn't like a crazy BABIP, but it does show a little bit of luck with the hits he's gotten, and likely won't be sustained the whole season, especially because he doesn't make hard contact. The biggest things to look at is Ruiz's defense, especially at a premium position like center field. With his speed, he can cover a lot of ground, but he still struggles to be an above-average center fielder defensively. While Savant shows he's 78th percentile and outs above average, there's a lot more to determine a fielder's value. If we take a look at his Fangraphs page, he's basically below average in every defensive category, my favorite stat being defensive runs saved, in which he is negative 13. He also has had an incredibly mediocre arm for a center fielder. But here's the thing, Ruiz is only 24. He has time to develop more pop and work on his plate discipline. If he develops this discipline, he'd very likely be an above-average on-base guy, and I'd probably put him being around an average to above-average bat. Then you mix in his base running value, which would really make him a lot more valuable. But this isn't factoring in his biggest killer for his value, which is defense. The key to being a valuable center fielder is good defense, or at least average defense for a premium position. Being below average defensively is killing Ruiz's value. With how bad the A's are, they likely don't care and will probably just keep throwing him back out there. But a move to a less premium position like left field would likely help him out big time. He'll honestly probably improve with time and hopefully improve a lot of those peripherals, but because he's not an above average hitter, defense is killing his game right now. Ruiz has lots of potential and hopefully with a little work on discipline and defense, he can become a 3 to 4 WAR player. But at the moment, it's looking like he's on pace for around 2.9 F WAR and 1 B WAR this season, which is a huge difference. Ruiz could have had about 1.8 B WAR so far if he was just average defensively, and that would have put him on pace for about a 4 B WAR. Basically, if his defense didn't kill his WAR, he'd be pretty valuable. He'd actually be close to all-star status, especially on the A's. I'm still really excited about Ruiz's future. He's a young, speedy guy who can cover a lot of ground. He just needs to work a lot on being a complete player who walks more. Hopefully, Ruiz gets a chance to play left field for a long time to see if he can be sustainable in left. But for now, he's just getting hurt by his defensive stats, and I don't think the A's have any better options. With all that being said, Ruiz still has lots of potential. I can see him being a 105 OPS plus guy who can lead the league in stolen bases, and maybe one day contribute heavily with the glove too. It looks like he'll have a pretty solid season. I can think if he can figure out how to draw more walks and improve a bit defensively, he can be a great outfielder for years to come.